They're gonna jump. Oh, there's a guy just waving us hello from the breach in the wall. Do you see that? He's inside the main base radius. Oh, he's hovering. He's hovering. Wait. Oh, got him!
Oh, yes!
Why would you hover when you know I'm in the server? I don't understand. Rookie mistake.
Should I move?
They had an enemy.
Do me to reverse back up?
Stop! No! Do not move.
Okay.
Yeah, there are
I hit
plenty
it.
of them on that.
I hit it really
What was it?
bad. He might spot us though.
Island.
Go! Drive.
Refinery. So.
Okay.
Loading. Someone else hit it? Bro! Oh shit. Looks pretty cool. I like your tank.
You said where? Oh, they're getting a map to the.
Just click on timeline. You can see our stocks go way down. We just put money into Intel. You guys clean your boots before you got on the aircraft carrier?
No, I have watched.
Gotta do
videos
everything
for a
around
really
here.
long while.
God damn it. No respect.
Boys, get in. Stop fucking around, man.
Well, you think this dust gonna clean itself? Huh?
Watch your
Right
hands.
after my set, I'll come. Wait.
The fuck? That's from all the youth money.
This guy definitely does not watch his hands.
There, representing the Department of the Navy.
Okay. The fuck?
Okay, this sounds okay. I'd appreciate it. Wow, we got quite a lot of people joining us already. Amazing. So if you just let me know how the volume is, guys, we can get started straight away. Sounds good? Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Well, today we're going to be looking at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's the alpha, of course. Now, the download was 9 gigabytes. And
9
I believe
gigabyte.
The full download's going to be something in the region of about 30 gigabytes. So we don't have the whole sim in front of us. The alpha is designed just to test a couple of more technical aspects, I'm guessing, and to pick up some of the potential problems, of which there are a few, and we'll cover those, including controller setup and what have you. So we're just going to have a walk through, really. We are going at the end, we will certainly jump into sim and have a look at the weather and that type of thing. But really what I wanted to do today was just walk through. Now, being an alpha, things can change before release, but at least the basic principles will be the same. The basic layout will be more or less unchanged, and we can have a look at what sort of things we can possibly expect to find and so on. So what you're looking at right now is the main screen. This is the opening menu, and we're just going to pop through and see what we've got. But first of all, I just want to say hello to Sid Malicious, Astro Trucker, Peter Fillet, wow, Lee Rose, how's it, my friend? Nice to have you back. Ozzy Safa, Pele, how you doing? Sandor, Albert, Vinny, hello B, how you doing? Well, thank you very much. It's great to see you all joining me today. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so just looking at the top menu then.
My
as
coworker
we
does
walk
not leave
through,
the house without this hat, and I just
not
want to know why.
everything, activities are not activated, and the marketplace is not available to us at this point in the alpha. We do have free flight. We do have a career mode of sorts. We've got one challenge and world.
Damn, Junior, that video is crazy.
So
The lights are
these are the
fucking
main
dope.
activities or the main aspects of the sim that you can partake in. And then up here, this is where we can see various settings and so on. So this will pick up my profile. This will give me any notifications. This will tell me about any friends that may be online. And this is our main settings. And here we can see under general we've got graphics, sound, camera, traffic, and so on. We're going to go through all these in a bit more detail later on. Assistance, controls, which is very different, guys, to what we've been used to. Very different indeed.
Se muera Netanyahu,
Accessibility,
president.
and VR, which unfortunately is not available in the alpha. I'm a little bit gutted by that. I was certainly hoping to give VR a try, but I guess we're going to have to wait to the 19th of November for that. Hi to Centurion, hi to Neil, hi to Chelsea. How's everybody doing on this Saturday night? Now, the title of the stream is Raw and Untamed, and that's simply because I've only spent about 2 hours in the sim before jumping in here, so I don't know everything. If I get something wrong or miss something, please don't hesitate to shout it out in the comments, and we can have a look at it. So let's just go back here. So those are the settings. This area here would allow us to go to the marketplace, but again, that's not functional. And this one here is for notes or something of that nature. Okay, so let's just have a look here quickly. Career mode. This is where you can start setting up your career and start going through your PPL, your instrument flight training, and so on, and head towards a commercial license and so on. And the first port of call is to pick up your home base, and it will then populate that home base with all the requirements to start your training, and we'll take it from there. We're not going to jump into that today. Let's head back to the main menu. I just wanted to show you that it's there. We've got the Challenge League as well. There's only one available. That's Malaga in Spain. I hope those sounds are coming through from the sim. Okay, so we can go ready, pick up some more info on it. It can tell us what we've got to do, fly through these gates and so on. You earn credits and points from completing various challenges and so on. But once again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. It's really about the settings and a walkthrough. I just wanted to show you some of the things that are available. World Photographer is very much on a similar vein. You can decide where to go. There's one that's available within the alpha and so on. You get challenged to take various photographs of various things. Maybe you've got to get a deer in the woods with a mountain behind you, something of that nature. But again, we're going to go back. Okay. And let's head back, guys, to the settings, because this is really where I wanted to focus on.
Show me.
And we're going to start off here with our graphics. Okay. Do you have sim sound? Yeah, they're on now. Thanks, guys. Okay, so again, you can select various resolutions for your screen. You have all the normal candidates, 1080p, 1440p. I'm currently running in 4K. Now when you first set up the sim, it recommends what your settings should be, and I've left mine simply as what it recommended. I'm on a 14900K and I've got a 1490 RTX graphics card, so it says my settings should be ultra, and that's what I've left it on. I've left nearly all the settings at default just so that you can see what the options are. You have an option to vary the render scaling. Under the anti-aliasing, we've got DLS Super Resolution, DLSS, AMD FSR2, and that's it. We must expect to have more in here by the time the sim is released. That's quite a very restrictive setup that we have at the moment, but that's what's in at the moment. DLSS frame generation, well, we know about that from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. You can turn that on, and in theory, again, depending on what your other settings are, that can set you up for like double your frame rate, and I'm assuming it's going to turn on DLSS 3, which will be okay for monitor mode, but probably wouldn't be available for VR. Fidelity FX sharpening, we've got VSync. You can turn that on or you can turn that off. I'm going to turn that off just for now. We've got NVIDIA low latency on plus boost off. I'd have it on because why wouldn't you? It just helps reduce system latency and increase the PC responsiveness. Frame rate limit, again, depending what you're doing, you don't have an option at the moment to vary it from 100% of the monitor refresh rate, but I'm hoping at some point you'll be able to adjust this. Certainly by the time you'll be able to go to maybe 30%, 50%, or whatever the case may be. Now, dynamic settings. This one's interesting. Now, I don't know, but I can only assume, and I'm jumping to conclusions perhaps here, and if any of you guys know more, let me know. But I'm going to assume that this is in fact a Sobo's implementation of auto FPS. So it will adjust your terrain level of detail and your object level of detail as you fly to try and maintain whatever frame rate you put in here. So that's what my assumption is at this time. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick it on 60, and default is 30. I'm going to stick it on 60 and see how it goes. Now, I would have expected to have other parameters that you could adjust here, but there's none at all. So whether or not that's going to be expanded once the sim is released, I really just don't know. Captain Hawkeye, hi, how are you doing? Emil Johansson, welcome. Okay, global rendering quality. Now there's not a lot of shots here, nothing too new to be honest with you. Terrain level of detail by default is set at 200. All these they perform on for sure. Clearly, as a lot of the data is being streamed, but details add really to what we've had before. There's one or two new things, but nothing of any great at all. And at a high settings, we're getting air traffic U-turns to dramatic language, sound of here, activated vehicle density equal not somebody of the legacy mode here is different to legacy mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Flight model.
Legacy mode in the current sim meant FSX compatibility or something designed on that platform or based on that platform. Legacy in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 means that it is based on the Microsoft 2020 platform, and modern means that it is designed directly for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So my assumption, because I don't know, I'm just doing my own interpretation of what has been said at various development meetings or development streams that have been held, is that if you've got a third-party product that you want to use, it may not be compatible with the modern flight model of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
Okay.
It'll be up to the developer whether or not they're going to update it to that. If not, you're going to have to change the flight model for that aircraft to basically compatibility for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which means you'll be changing this flight model to legacy. So there we are. Global preset, realistic, again, can't change that. Crash realism. Crashes in terms of physical damage are not modeled, guys. Everything else is just a realism factor, and so on. Flight interface. This is a new category, but very much we've seen it previous. Interesting. Totally easy and intuitive controls. I've got my Virpil rudder pedals, my Bravo throttle quadrant connected at the moment. Now, I did have my CLS60 yoke attached, but I've swapped it out for the Alpha flight controls because I couldn't get the CLS60 to work. I then put on the Alpha flight controls and I couldn't get that to work properly either. Now, if you're suffering from that problem, I can tell you exactly what the problem is.
What is it?
Is that when you configure sorry guys, just adjusting my mic here. When you configure anything, make sure after saving that you restart your flight if you're in flight, or preferably exit the sim and come back into the sim. You don't have to restart your PC, but exit the sim and come back into the sim. I'm finding generally all I have to do if I'm actually in a flight is I restart the flight and then my controls are working as expected. On the Alpha flight control, for example, my pitch up and my roll to the right was so sensitive that the aircraft was unflyable, and that's why I swapped out the CLS60. Obviously the force feedback on the CLS60 isn't working at this point, but I'm sure Fabian from flightsim.com will have that sorted very, very soon after release. But yeah, that's the answer, is to restart. Otherwise you're going to pull your hair out, think something's wrong,
Yep.
and it's not. The bad news is that other than the gamepad controller, your Bravo, Alpha, rudder pedals, regardless of whose rudder pedals, Turtle Beach, whatever it may be, nothing is configured, guys. Now, whether or not at time of release there'll be some basic configurations in, I've got to assume that there will be.
What the fuck?
Let's be fair, we've got to assume that there will be, but nothing's configured in the Alpha. You've got to start from scratch, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to. Now, under here, and these are not fully working, I don't think, but just to explain what they are, you can configure something for general controls, and that will apply across the board for the type of aircraft that you're flying. You could then, so general controls will apply to everything. Airplane controls will apply to the particular type of aircraft that you're flying, and specific controls will apply to that particular model. So you may have, for example, water rudder consigned to or configured to a particular aircraft, but you'd put that under specific controls because you only want it to apply to that particular aircraft and so on. So I hope that makes sense. Now, rather than the old type of menu, we've got another new menu.
Yeah.
How do I feel about it? It's better, but it's not simpler, if that makes any sense. It's arguably easier to find your way around. There are more categories, and so the danger is, let's just run through radio, straightforward, flight control, instrument flight systems, lights, autopilot, brakes, power management, landing gear,
Yan ang kot.
tools, multiplayer, ornithopter,
Yawa.
that's one I won't be using, communications, liquid drop system.
Don't know what the fuck that is.
This is quite an interesting
Oh.
one. You know, do you want spray on or off? You could toggle it on or off. Your scoop, which would probably be for your
Firefighting.
CL45, your firefighting and that type of thing. So that's something brand new. You notice now again, this is an alpha. We have to bear in mind that things may change and things are not perfect. The server was very clear at the outset that this is by no means the final product, but did you notice when I came out it automatically took me to the top, which it's a problem we had in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We got camera, we got menu, we got VR. Let's just click into VR. Not a lot to see here. User interface. Not quite sure what that is. Do any of you guys know what user interface is? Not quite sure. And then you've got the standard options, cockpit interaction and so on and so forth. Again, I'm expecting this list of options to be expanded to some degree. Let's go back there.
Yes.
Notice we're back at the top, guys. Anyway, let's carry on. Where were we? Menu, VR, cockpit, player character, interactions, types of movement that you want, how you want your, so you can define camera movements and camera controls just for your avatar, which is quite interesting. Interactions, haven't tried any of this, as you can see, guys, but hopefully you can see why I'm saying it may be easier to find initially the category that you're looking for, but it's not necessarily simpler at all. So we've got, where are we? We're shooting all over the place. Developer mode, tools. This is for developer, obviously. Let's close that up. User interface and camera. Interesting that that's even in the alpha, to be honest. Let's go back. I'm back to the top again. Let me hit
James
down
from
here.
the internet.
We've got banner hook, banner pole, skydive system, airframe.
Hello
That's
folks, welcome
interesting.
back.
Electrical, engine, fuel, miscellaneous, safety, de-icing, instruments, and environmental control. So a whole lot of options here. What I found the easiest way is to simply do this and search for what you want, or alternatively, if you're looking to configure something, search by input. So for example, I'm on the Bravo throttle quadrant. I want to search by input. Notice it says scanning there. You have to be fairly quick. I'm going to move my throttle 1 on my Bravo throttle quadrant because I've configured that to be my throttle. So, and it just tells me what it is. Doesn't tell me what it's consigned to. Anyway, so Bravo throttle quadrant. We can now go in and configure it. Let me go to Alpha Flight Controls, that might be easier. Under Alpha Flight Controls, we've got
Control surfaces.
Control surfaces, primary, and we've got all the various options available to us, and it indicates whether or not it should be set as a button or as an axis. So for the Alpha Flight Controls, for example, we want, let's do our elevator axis. So I've got the Alpha Flight Control in front of me. I just moved the elevator axis up and down. It picked that up. Aileron, so I'm just going to roll to the side. I've picked that up. Now I had already configured these, but when I exited, it hadn't saved it. And this has happened to me before, so just be aware.
Aileron axis.
I'm not sure that it's holding all the configurations unless I'm doing something wrong. The number of options available are more. There are more options available, but some of the really important ones that I was hoping for I don't see here, and we'll come to those under power management. But if we're now on the Alpha Flight Controls, let's go along and have a look at the hardware settings. So these were set to 0 previously, so it's interesting, it didn't hold the configuration, but I did change the sensitivity. You can see the curve changing there, making it less or more sensitive on a particular axis. And you can do exactly the same here. So you can make it more or less sensitive and so on. So one's roll and one's pitch. But as I move my peripheral, which I'm doing right now, nothing is moving here. So that's not functional, which even in an alpha is a bit of a pain, to be honest. It would have been much nicer to have that so that we could test out the requirements. We have dead zone. An out dead zone is an interesting one. Not totally sure
what that is.
I think that's going to relate to what used to be the extremity in the previous sim, where you could narrow the overall movement. See, I'm going to assume this is going to do exactly the same as the extremity one did in the previous. That is limiting the amount of radius